Howdy y'all, my name's Corey and welcome to Travel the Board. I've been counting down my top 100 games of all time. This is 80 to 71. Let's get to it. Alright, so kicking it off with my number 80 is my top rated Marvel game. It's also down 20 spots from last year's list. It was number 60, but I still love this game and it's my favorite Marvel game. It is Wakanda Forever. Wakanda Forever is a game I don't own. This game I've actually played at Lucas's house so many times. This has become a staple in our group. We play it all the time. The reason I love this game so much is the bidding aspect and the like honor battles when you're trying to become the Black Panther. I love the Black Panther has a special power with an extra die compared to everybody else. I love that to win the game you have to be the Black Panther. It's not just about reaching a certain score. You have to be the Black Panther. I love the abilities that all the different factions have. Fighting the bosses is really fun, and I love how they're worth different amounts of points based on their difficulty, and that they give powers to the winner. However, the one thing that keeps this game further down on my list is the fact that depending on the card shuffle, what bad guys come out. If one faction's bad guy comes out too many times in a row, meaning that bad guy that comes out has the color of your faction, that bad guy gives a negative ability to that faction. So that faction is at a disadvantage. Now, for one bad guy, that's not that bad. But if it happens 1, 2, 3 times in a row and it starts to build on itself, one person at the table can very quickly just be behind the entire game because they're the one that's getting the negative effect the entire game. I've had that happen to me, and I've seen it happen to other people, and it's pretty not fun to have to deal with that. Now, granted, that's the luck of the draw. It's just the way things happen. You could even house rule it to where you could say one person can't have 2 bad guys in a row affect them, and that may fix that rule for you. But for me, the fact that I see a lot of Marvel games do this, where one person can be behind a lot of the game based off of what villains there are, that's something that really affects me in Marvel games and makes me have like a distaste for them. But this game is gorgeous. I love the components. It's a wonderful game, and it's not that popular or well known. So if you've not checked out Wakanda Forever, especially if you're a Black Panther fan, you should. That's my number 80. Alright, my number 79 is brand new to my list because I just played it for the first time this past year, even though it has 2 different sequels at this point. I'm not a big war gamer. I have very few war games that I play on a regular basis. However, this is sort of kind of a war game. It is a 2-player game that plays in 20 minutes. Blitzkrieg. Blitzkrieg is kind of my way of playing war games. It's not a war game, like I said, but it gives you that tactical feel of a war game. You're choosing when to attack. You're placing things strategically. Like, it gives you that little, like, war game light type feeling, even though it's nowhere near a war game, if that makes any sense. I love the pulling from the bag. I love the components. I love how fast it plays, and I love that it's 2 players. Anytime you give me a tactical 2-player game that plays quickly, I am immediately interested. I played this game with my friend Scott. He really enjoyed it, and he is a war gamer. For someone who is a war gamer to enjoy this game, I think also says a lot. Now, it's not one of his favorites, but he did enjoy it. And I believe that the sequel, the Dogfight one, would appeal even more to someone like him who is more into the wargaming field, where this for me is more of a let's just get some stuff out of bags and throw it down. But I really enjoy Blitzkrieg. It's really fun. That's my number 79. Alright, so for my number 78, I have been into gaming as a whole at this point for about 7 years now. I was a latecomer. I was in my early 20s before I really started doing any kind of tabletop gaming. Before that, it was just video games. I played basketball in high school. Board games and tabletop games were not a part of my world until 2017. And in 2017, got into gaming, and I heard about the Best Game of the Year awards. And I heard about the Spiel des Jahres, or I probably butchered that, and I apologize if I did. But the winner of the Spiel, the year I got into gaming, of course I had to buy it. Of course I had to try it. You're telling me it's one of the best games of the year? I have to. It's down 16 places from last year, but that still doesn't mean I don't love the game. I love this game. I'm talking about King Domino. King Domino, for me, is just a joyous game. It is a game that I love the bright colors, I love the art, and I love the dominoes. I love just laying them out there. I love the drafting of the dominoes. Drafting is one of my favorite mechanics, and I love the drafting of the dominoes. I love the way that you decide the draft order based off of the numbers on the dominoes. I love strategically trying to build your 5x5 if you can. Some people fail to build that 5x5, but I love that there's no, like, your castle doesn't have to be the center. It can be off to the left. It can be off to the right. It can be not dead center, and you, as long as you build your 5x5, or try to at least, it doesn't matter. I love that right in front of you, when you get that first domino, it's like open field. You're like, ooh, okay, I'm gonna put it here, and then when that next one comes, you're like, oh, do I go for having the castle in the center, or do I do this for better points, or do I do this? I love seeing it come together and trying to plan for those last 1 to 2 dominoes so that you don't just waste them and that you can put them in there exactly where you want them. I love that planning aspect. King Domino is a super fast, super easy game, and it won the Spiel, and I think it deserves it. I think it is a beautiful little game. I think everything about it just works, and that's why it's I don't even remember on 78. I'm good at this. Trust me, Corey is good at making lists, remembering the numbers he's on. Oh yeah, I haven't been pushing. Be gone. That landed perfectly in the corner of my table. I need you to know that. It literally fell over perfectly in the corner. All right, number 77. So every year, me and my friends, I put on a gaming retreat for us, and we go out, we get a cabin, we take a bunch of games, and we spend the whole weekend playing games. Gen Con and our gaming retreat are 2 of my favorite times of the year. Now, unfortunately, due to Hurricane Helene and things like that, we did have to cancel our gaming retreat this year, as Hurricane Helene did hit the weekend of our gaming retreat. So we had to cancel it this year, which is sad, but it's okay. You know, natural disasters, things happen. I made a video on this channel here about our experience through the hurricane. But with that being said, the reason I bring it up is that this game is new to my list, and we played it for the first time at our gaming retreat last year, and we have agreed this game may come to every gaming retreat we ever do because we had so much fun with it. Lucas and Scott both have a background in public They both have a background in public speaking and debate, whether they did it in college, in their careers, things like that. So these two are really good at arguing. These two are very intelligent, and it's very fun to watch them go at it. And I'm very good at being the head honcho type guy, playing the role that's weird and is kind of running the show. So we're really good and really love to play All Rise. All Rise is a party game where there are 2 sides. There's the defense and the prosecution. One person plays the judge, which was me. Everyone else plays the jury and the witnesses. And basically you are having a court case, and you are using ridiculous items to explain something. So you are defending a robbery where he robbed a theme park with a D20, and his accomplice was the local mechanic, and basically the judge, anything goes. You can say anything as long as you're following your little cue cards, and you just say anything you want to. And the prosecution and the defense both get opening statements. They both get to plead their case. They both have objection cards. I couldn't think about what you do in court. And it's all up to the judge, which was me in this game. You can either play it super seriously, and you have to have a well thought out case, and all the details have to line up. Or you can just make absolute memery out of it, and as long as the judge says it's fine, it's fine. And it's actually so funny because Scott and Lucas both were like testing the waters with what they could say and what I would allow. Because I would like stop certain things. They'd be like, okay, so I can't do things like that. But then they'd realize, oh, he's letting us do things like that. So a little meta started to form. So by the end of the game, everyone was losing their mind. Everyone was laughing. It was such a good time. We played it multiple times. All Rise is such a fun party game. And if you have the people who are able to articulate their ideas good enough and are able to come up with stories on the spot, if you have a group of DMs or storytellers or anyone like that, this game is perfect for you. That's my number 77. Yeah, I'm getting better at this. 77, All Rise. That was really bad. Alright, so number 76 has already started to be described by many as a modern classic. And I would probably agree with that at this point. It's old enough at this point that it's starting to become a classic to some generation type people. It has multiple spin-offs, and it's just an awesome game. And I also think a lot of people are thinking of classic games as small weight Euros, such as Catan, Carcassonne, things like that. Like, for some reason when you say classic, my brain immediately goes to Euro games, and this fits the mold. Azul! Azul is a wonderful game. A lot of people like the sequels better. I have not played all the sequels. I've only played one of them. But classic Azul to me is just so enjoyable. I love the pieces, the chunk and the click clack of those little tiles in your hand. I love it. I like putting them out onto the I guess coasters, carpets, whatever you want to call them. I love the little lazy Susan type feel about it. I love the drafting of it. I love the math of having to perfectly place them how you want, or they fall onto the floor and break, and that's negative points at the end. I just think it's a really enjoyable, crunchy game in the way that you have to plan. But you can also play it casually and just pick some tiles and put them down, and then not really do the crunchy thinking part until you're near the end and you go, oh, I don't have anywhere to put this. Like, I enjoy it. It's really fun. Azul to me is the hardcore gamers will just be flat out better at it, but I've had so many experiences where the less experienced gamers just completely derail you accidentally, because they take the things that you need perfectly, and you ask them, they're like, why did you take that? And they're like, because I wanted to do this thing. And you're like, but that thing makes no sense. All that thing does is screw me, and you didn't even mean to. That happens all the time. Azul is a wonderful game for like that. It can be frustrating for many, but for me, those moments just make me laugh, because I'm like, I got screwed accidentally. But it happens to me in Azul all the time. That's my number 76. That's a better push. My number 75 is down 16 places from last year. And I know you guys keep hearing me say on this portion of the list, it's down, it's down, it's down. I still love these games. I don't dislike these games at all. They're in my top 100. I have played well more than 100 games. Well more. So these top 100 are truly my favorites. The reason these games are falling is because new games have came on my list. They're jumping ahead of them, and they're just pushing these games down is all that's happening. I have an entire shelf of these games, all of the sequels, above/behind me. If you haven't guessed it, it's Horrified. I love Horrified. Horrified is a fantastic cooperative game. I love the pickup and delivery, but let's all be honest. The reason we love Horrified is the monsters. We love seeing that new expansion or sister game come out, and we love seeing what monsters are in it. And then once we see what monsters are in it, we love seeing how does that monster work? How do you defeat that monster? What little mini game do you have to play to beat that monster? I think that's why this game screams to me, is the little mini games. The actual movement on the board and the planning your movement and the pickup and delivery, that's fine. It's all enjoyable. For some people, they love that. What I care about is the mini games. I love games with mini games. I love playing games within games, and Horrified does that in the most spectacular little vessel, the best little delivery system to give you mini games, where you get to fight off these like classical, super cool monsters. I mean, who doesn't love Dracula, Frankenstein? Who doesn't love in the other ones, the Chimera? Who doesn't love Mothman? Like, it's so cool. And then the newest one I haven't got to play yet, Cthulhu has made his way into Horrified. I'm so excited to get the new ones to the table. Horrified. If you love cooperative games, if you love old school monsters, if you love monsters in general, it's for you. My number 74 finally is a game that has gone up since last year. It is up 13 places. It was 87 last year. It's been on my list for a while. It's a silly little Christmas game that has a Christmas theme slapped on it. I played at Christmas time just because it has the theme on it, but honestly, you could put almost any theme on this game and it would work. But I love the little card game. I'm talking about 12 Days. 12 Days is such a cute little game. I don't know, there's something about the 12, 11, 10, the fact that the cards get less with the 12 Days of Christmas. Even though it's a slapped-on theme, I think it's cute, and I think it works. It really tickles my brain, just the way the numbers work, the way the point system works, the way the drafting works. I love 12 Days. I love how quick I can play it. I love how I don't have to over-explain it to people. In a minute, I can get the game out, shuffle it up, hand people cards, explain how it works, and everyone goes, oh, okay. And then after the end of the first round, everybody's like, oh, okay. And then we can just play it. And if you want to, you can play it 2 or 3 times in a row. I can play it with my parents. I can play it with my wife. I can play it with my friends. I can play it with my gamer friends. It doesn't matter who I play this with. This game is cute, simple, easy to get to the table. And at Christmas time, all you do is show them the cover, and everybody's like, oh, yeah, let's do it. 12 days. I love it. This small game, it can spin. Big spin. Alright, so number 73 is down 3 spots from last year, and when you consider all the new games that have come onto the list and jumped ahead of it, that's actually pretty good. That's got some pretty good staying power. This game is for the Catan lovers. This is Catan Plus, and this is also for those of you that love space games. Space Base. Space Base is Catan in space. And when I say Catan, I just mean you roll the dice, whatever number happens, that power activates, you get the thing. This one, however, is the more advanced, kind of funner version because I have this higher than Catan on my list. You've got the numbers 2 to 12, just like you do in Catan, except instead of claiming pieces on the board, you are claiming cards. You're putting those cards underneath your number. You're building up your stack of cards underneath that number, and every time that number rolls, you get a bunch of stuff. And the way that you can play the strategies in this is super fun. You can go really heavy on those very likely numbers of like 6 to 8. And you can just go like, ooh, these are going to roll all the time. But the powers are less good. But the powers, because it's less likely to roll the outer numbers, the powers on 2 and 12 are really nice. And you could go heavy on the outer numbers, but you have a lower chance of hitting it. But when you hit it, you hit big. Or you could spread it all the way throughout the entire thing, and no matter what, you're getting things. That's what a lot of people tend to do. They want to get something on every dice roll. I am a gambler. I like to put it on the outsides. I like to load up 2, 3, 11, and 12, and I just sit there and wait. And then the moment it rolls, I rake in the benefits. So this game is super fun depending on... It fits every type of mindset. Those that want to play safe, those that want to gamble a little bit, those that want to gamble big. I think anyone can play this and find a strategy that works for them where they can have the most fun. A lot of times you have to play strategies a certain way in a lot of games, and it appeals more to others than it does to some, whereas in this game you gamble as much as you want to or as little as you want to. So Space Base is super fun. Alright, my 72 has dropped about 8 spaces since last year. This game, it is better when you role play it. Let's just say that. Me and my friends are true believers that when you can find a game that you can role play just to make the game better, if you like roleplay games whatsoever, you would be shocked just how much better games get when you try to roleplay them. This one is Mysterium. Now, in our group, one, because I own most of the games, I tend to kind of get to have the choice of what role I want. Anytime I play a game like this, I tend to be the solo player, so I tend to be the ghost in this game, and just role-playing that ghost and everyone around the table role-playing the people is so much fun. Me trying to convey to them what I want them to convey, and the number of times I'll give them a clue, and all heads just turn and look at me like, that helped us none. And then they'll stare at the board and they'll go... They're going to get... What are you thinking, Corey? I love that because, in my head, I have such a clear idea of what I'm trying to convey to them. But they're all looking at me like I am absolutely insane and like what I just said and did makes no sense. That's fun to me. Some people are like, Corey, you're probably losing a lot. And I'm like, yeah, but I'm having a blast doing it. It's so fun. The thing about just confusing your friends every time you do anything in a game when you're genuinely trying to help is just so funny to me, and that's what happens in this game, especially when you role play it and you play the ghost. So much fun. Mysterium, it's fallen off a lot of people's lists over the years because a lot of people have said tons of games have directly replaced this game. I know a lot of people really like Obscurio and games like that. Not for me. Mysterium, old school, bring it on. I love it. Alright, let's finish this list off with my number 71. My number 71 has fallen 30 spots since last year. And I know why. It's because last year I played this game. This year I have not. And that's a big deal for a game like this because it's a legacy game. The year you play your legacy game, you are riding high on it. You are, oh my god, this game's incredible. And then you don't play it because you finished the legacy game, even though I have a story to that. So it falls down. I am talking about Charterstone. It's story time. Me and my wife played Charterstone last year. You know how that feeling when you complete a Legacy game and you're so excited, you're so happy, because so many people don't finish Legacy games. They play 2 or 3 games of it and then they never come back to it, or the group falls away from it and you just don't get to finish it, right? Well, me and my wife played Charterstone with the full intention of finishing it. And yes, if you guessed, we did not finish it. We've played all but the last game. We have 1 game to go, and it's been over a year since we played it, and we still haven't finished that last game. And every time me and her play games together, we played games together last night. And you know what we said? We really need to finish Charterstone because we've got 1 game left. So maybe I'll finish Charterstone eventually. Regardless, I love the game. I love the worker placement. Stonemaier is an incredible company. Everything they put out, I am at least interested in. I love the cute little figures, the cute little guys in this game, the characters. I love the map and the way you're building it. I love the resource collection. I love the different types of workers with the powers you can get. I love building your own board, and then when you're done, or when you're finally done with the game, you have a fully built game that you can just bust out and play anytime. I really enjoy that aspect of it. Charterstone is a wonderful starter Legacy game. If you are wanting to play a Legacy game and it's your first ever one, a lot of people pick Pandemic Legacy. A lot of people might pick Ticket to Ride Legacy since it just came out this past year. For me, I would almost always recommend Charterstone. It's very easy to get into. The story is simple but very cute and fun. The decisions you make are fun. And there's a little app at the end where you are in the middle of the game where you like build your city, and like it puts it on a map, and just having that little thing on your phone to be like, look, that's our city that we made. I think that's just a cool little extra thing that just makes you more attached to the game. So I think this is a wonderful starter Legacy game. That's my number 71. And that's my 80 to 71. We've got 7 lists to go. Don't forget, if you haven't seen my post on YouTube, that my friends Scott and Lucas are going to be joining me for my top 30. They are also doing their top 30. We've already recorded some of those sessions, and I have watched the videos. They are incredible. They're super fun. They're super funny. Our rapport with each other is amazing. I cannot wait for you guys to see those videos. Warning, they're a little long, so bear with me, but I promise they're worth it. They're so good. And for our top 10, we're going to be doing a very big special for you guys. I'm so excited for it. But I hope you guys have enjoyed these videos. Be sure to hit the like button, subscribe, ring the bell so that you know when all these future videos are posted. But thank you guys so much for watching. Leave a comment down below. What was your favorite game in this set of 10? Was it Charterstone? Was it Mysterium? Something tells me a lot of y'all are going to pick Space Base or Azul because they're both so popular. But who knows? Let me know down below. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye!